Thank you and good afternoon. This is Sam Vaughan for Sam Sports Report. Mizzou plays its worst game of the year. Got beat by OU. Mizzou beat OU by 24, but this time it was OU coming in on top. They made 24-5 free throws. Normally the Tigers are good, and they made 24 of 25 and shot over 70% in the first half. It was all Sooners, 96-84. Jeremiah Fields finished with 31 points. Mizzou will play Kentucky at home, where they've been cooking. Kansas State comes through with a defensive battle on the road, 54-49. The Cats are 15-15, which normally gets you an NIT bid. At least it did, and does, and maybe easier now. A record of 500. David Nagesson at 16 points. Kansas State has a tough one against Iowa State. Kansas State did grab a road game against Iowa State, so they can get over it. Kansas State hosts on Saturday. Bears have added in the offseason. Johanna Jackson with the trade for the Rams and getting a new contract was renewed before they traded. Bears acquire All-Pro guard Joe Thuney from the Chiefs in a trade that most people have given the Bears an A and undetermined, although I saw one grade given by the Chiefs a C. You can't really say to me they could have got more. Well, if they could have gotten more, you would think they would have gotten more because they're asking all the teams. I mean, it's just simple math to me. You get what you get out of the trade. There is no changing up batter. They could do it more. Bears re-sign Eamon
Ogbongbemiga
to a 2-year deal. He goes to linebacker. Chargers release Joey Bosa, Hall of Fame linebacker. They'll see what happens with him. The Browns restructured Deshaun Watson's contract again. He is not likely to be the starter this season. Jeremiah Staith, tight end, signs with the Bears in free agency. The Seahawks looking to trade partners with DJ Metcalf. The Chiefs are one of those 7 teams. Former Chief and former Missouri Tiger Mitch Morse retires. Rams wide receiver Tutu Atwell reaches an agreement of 1 year of $10 million fully guaranteed. Congratulations to Viking safety Theo Jackson agreeing to a 2-year extension with $12.615 million, including his first year of guarantee signing. Commanders re-signed Zane Gonzalez. 49ers have informed Javane Hagel that he will be released. We kept getting pings for that NFL. We'll report on all of that tomorrow on SoundCloud. Here is that link when we get done. SIU score just for fun. And then we'll do automatic bids on Sunday show. Southern Illinois leads 45-43 right before the half. That's Sam Vaughan Sports.
Well, I think we can look at it from both sides, Lord. From the Bears' standpoint, they clearly have prioritized protecting Caleb Williams. Yesterday, they agreed to send a draft pick to the Los Angeles Rams for Jonah Jackson, who played for Ben Johnson in Detroit and now is reunited with him in Chicago. And today, they agreed to send a 2026 4th-round draft pick to Kansas City for Joe Thuney. Now, Joe Thuney is a guy who has been versatile, he's been durable, he's been productive, but he also probably is going to need a contract extension at some point in time. He's got a year left on his deal, he's going to be 33 years old, and the Chiefs already have the highest paid guard in Trey Smith and the highest paid center in Creed Humphrey in the National Football League. You can't pay center guard and another guard at the highest levels and expect to be able to field the roster that they need to. And that's why the Chiefs, with a year left on Joe Thuney's deal, look to deal him now. As much as they liked and valued him, you can't pay everybody. They would have liked to have kept him in a perfect world. Chicago is transforming its line, and the Bears can't put enough resources in front of Patrick Mahomes, in front of Caleb Williams, to protect him, and therefore for them to give up the draft picks that it takes to solidify that offensive line. It's their biggest offseason priority, and in 24 hours, they've been able to accomplish that.
Yeah, nothing they've traded prevents them from using additional resources if, say, the Bears wanted to use a first and or second round pick to continue to strengthen the line. But it gives them a little flexibility as they head into the rest of their offseason because they know that they've shored up a couple of key positions. You look at their new head coach, Ben Johnson, coming from Detroit. The success of Detroit has all been based for the last couple of years on how dominant that offensive line was. The run game, the passing game, everything working off of that. So Ben Johnson knows firsthand how important anything else he wants to do in Chicago, how important the offensive line is going to be to the success, not just of Caleb Williams, but of the offense in general. So, yeah, Chicago willing to commit resources at a level that, at a time when Kansas City's kind of retooling, looking to get younger, it just makes sense both ways. Chicago more than willing to pay Joe Thuney $16 million this year if it helps.
Yeah, Russ, let's dive into the Kansas City side of this deal. It's worth noting that the Chiefs need to protect Patrick Mahomes better, right? Last year, Mahomes was sacked a career-high 47 times, including 6 times in the Super Bowl, which is the most in any game in his career. He was running for his life out there. He was also contacted and pressured at his highest rate ever. This despite averaging just 2.8 seconds before the pass. That's the shortest in any season in his career. He was trying to get the ball out quickly. Didn't matter all the time. Adam, any sense why Kansas City would make this move right now?
Yeah, because you can't pay everybody, Lori. Well, it's exactly the whole situation. Remember last week, they franchised Trey Smith at guard, and we talked on NFL Live from the Combine at that time about the fact that they tagged him, but we're not looking to deal him. They're looking to sign Trey Smith to a long-term contract extension. They've already signed their center, Creed Humphrey, to a long-term contract extension. Creed Humphrey is the highest paid center. Trey Smith is going to be, and already is with the franchise tag, the highest paid guard. You can't then go give Joe Thuney the type of deal that he's going to get from another team when he's got a year left on his contract. And so the Chicago Bears were more than happy to take on his remaining year on his contract. I'm sure at some point they're going to sit down and address his contractual demands, his concerns, whatever it may be. But the Chiefs were not in a position to be able to pay Joe Thuney. So they made the decision to move on as much as they would have liked to have kept him.
I think the important thing to understand is the Chiefs probably aren't done making offensive line moves. It's not just, let's get rid of Joe Thuney and then replace him internally. They need an answer at left tackle, and they may go out and take a big swing in free agency there and need the Thuney money to do that. I believe they want to extend Trey Smith's contract, which would knock down his 2025 cap number from the $23 million where it currently sits on the franchise tag. They have a couple of young guys they've drafted with relatively high picks in recent years, and it's Wanya Morris and Kingsley Suamataia, who had a hard time this year at left tackle, but the Chiefs believe that they'll get better. They're young players. They can coach them up and improve them. Maybe eventually one of them becomes a left tackle. Maybe one of them can replace Joe Thuney at guard. So I don't think we've heard the last of the Chiefs by any stretch. They were embarrassed in the Super Bowl. I think they're determined to have the kind of offseason that addresses those concerns on multiple levels. So I think, it's tough to say goodbye to Joe Thuney, and if you're a Chiefs fan today, you're wondering what's going on, but I think it's the first step in a larger plan.
One thing too with that 31st pick, there will be some O-line talent there. Donovan Jackson is one to watch out for. He's out of Ohio State. He actually played left guard for a lot of the season, but he switched over to left tackle later in the season and played really well. So maybe they try to add and fortify a little bit more in the.
Do you have any pets?
I do.
What do you have, a dog, cat?
I have 3 dogs.
3 dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Do they help you with your anxiety and depression?
Absolutely.
What kind of dogs?
2 Chihuahuas and a Whippet mix.
So,
And then the 2 Chihuahuas I have are mixes as well.
So I'm sure they love hanging out with you and laying with you. Is that probably what they do?
Yes.
Yeah, mine's a lot. Mine is so big you can't really put him on the couch. I think you've seen him. He's 100,
Mhm.
103. So yeah, he didn't get up on the couch. He didn't get up on anything. He was trained to do that. They were gonna have to find another home for him or whatever. So
And my limit that I have is 15 right now, normal years.
Yeah, and I chose it out, so that was pretty cool for Bo. I picked him out a picture, and that was pretty cool.